WCBI News at 10 starts now.
A North Mississippi man who claims he was beaten by officers with the Water Valley Police Department and Yalobusha County Sheriff's Department is now taking legal action. Thank you for joining us tonight. David Tron Logan is filing a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department, former Sheriff Lance Humphreys, along with the City of Water Valley and the Water Valley Police Department and Police Chief M.W. King. Logan is suing the entities for numerous things, including excessive force and negligence. The Grenada County man claims he was attacked by officers during a checkpoint in August of 2019. The suit says Logan was unarmed and claims he was beaten for no reason. Carlos Moore is representing Logan. Now, the suit does not state how much Logan is suing for. We reached out to the Yalobusha County Sheriff's Department. They tell us they were not aware of the lawsuit. To read the full lawsuit, just visit our website at wcbi.com. A man convicted of a 2015 murder in Clay County will remain in prison. Today, the Mississippi Supreme Court affirmed the conviction and sentence of Raheem Johnson. Johnson was convicted of first-degree murder in 2018 for the shooting death of James White on Dixie Road in Clay County back in February of 2015. Johnson was sentenced to life in prison, but he appealed his case to the Supreme Court, citing insufficient evidence, improper jury instructions, improper grand jury indictment, and an erroneous verdict. The justices concluded that the actions of the prosecutors and presiding judge were correct, and they affirmed both the conviction and the sentence. An Itawamba County man faces a capital murder charge after the body of a man reported missing this past weekend was found in a well on the suspect's property. 25-year-old Mitchell Shumpert is charged with one count of capital murder. Sheriff Chris Dickinson says Shumpert is accused of murdering 26-year-old Dylan Kaysen. On Wednesday, Kaysen's body was found at the bottom of a 30-foot well. The sheriff says Shumpert lived in a trailer on the property where Kaysen's body was discovered. Dickinson says it appears that robbery may be the motive, and now investigators are looking at evidence to find out what led up to that crime.
We need to understand every element of that to get us there. And then we have the actual crime itself. There's the forensics of that. And we've got to work that part. And then, since we had a body that was disposed of, there is another part of an investigation that we have to do in that.
Dickinson says the men did know each other, and he also says he will request that Shumpert be held without bond. If you're a Democrat in Lowndes County, an important day is coming up this weekend. Saturday is the day you'll elect delegates and alternates for the 2020 Lowndes County Democratic Convention. The county convention is set to take place in March, and the National Democratic Convention will be later on this summer. All 20 precincts will open up at 10 o'clock Saturday morning for you to select delegates to represent your precinct. Voters in Aberdeen will have a chance to hear from candidates for city offices and ask a few questions. A town hall candidate forum will be held Tuesday, February 18th at City Hall. Those running for office in the city have been invited to attend. Each candidate will have 10 minutes to state their positions with a question and answer session to follow. The public is invited to participate.
Weather-wise this evening, things are nice and quiet, but I do want to touch upon the water levels in the city of Columbus along the Tenn-Tom. Very high water, the equivalent of 1.7 Olympic pools passing through the Columbus area each second at this point. And the water has actually been rising here this evening all the way from noon until now, about a foot. So we are about at peak in the Columbus area as far as the river level. It's expected to drop over a foot as we get into the day tomorrow. So yes, things are high. Things will get a little bit better tomorrow. Temperatures will be dropping tonight down into the 20s once those clouds get out of here. Bright and sunny day tomorrow, but we are in the 40s. I'm back with your full forecast coming up.
What a difference a day makes, at least a clear day. After advising that conditions at the Oktibbeha County Lake could prompt a warning, EMA Director Kristen Campanella says things are improving. Late this afternoon, Campanella said the county engineer and his survey crew have estimated that even with the added rain, they have managed to lower the water level 6 inches. That's enough to delay upgrading the emergency action plan to warning status. The crews are working throughout the weekend to keep up with the progress before the next possible rain event, which could come as early as Sunday. The Wcbi County Lake Dam is one of the biggest concerns in the area right now, and leading the effort to keep everyone safe is Kristen Campanella. Our Bobby Martinez tags along with the EMA director today and finds out that's just part of her job as she balances needs there and those in the rest of the county.
She starts the day with a fresh cup of coffee. Then it's right to business.
We get it ordered. How long does that take?
Kristen Campanella took over as director of the Wcbi County Emergency Management Department in 2017. Since then, Campanella says no day has been the same, and each day she learns something new.
We kind of go through the same steps, I guess you could say, but it's not the same job every day. There's something that comes up new every day. We learn something every day. I've always said if we stop learning, then I'm ineffective to my job.
And as a leader of a very important department, Campanella has to make sure her team is as sharp as her. Part of her job is to make sure the 911 dispatch team has all the tools needed to handle any issue at any time.
Morning. Good morning. How are you? We love each other.
After making sure everything is handled in the office, it is now time to focus on the biggest issue as of late, the rising waters at the Wcbi County Lake Dam. Campanella drives 10 minutes from her office to the dam to access the latest developments.
So today we're going to go and check the water level real quick, kind of see where we are. We've got some markers that we look for when that water's got over. So just kind of want to see like kind of where we are right now. Yeah. Those signs are completely covered. I don't know if you've seen before, there was like 4 road signs in the middle. And those signs you can't even see anymore.
Campanella knows the dam can give at any time. It's a daily concern of hers.
Something like this, you don't know if it's going to happen 5 minutes from now, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years. So it's just on edge the entire time, not knowing what's going to happen or when it's going to happen.
And with this week's heavy rain, the latest update?
So we was lucky to get the water down 8.5 feet. I think everybody kind of took a breather for a couple weeks, but it looks like here we go again.
But despite the setback, Campanella has to remain calm as a leader, but she's determined to help resolve the issue.
It's part of the job. I mean, that's what we signed up for.
Well, Keith, not too many people are pleased with the weather we've been receiving lately, including our furry friends. Like the one in tonight's forecast.
We have one animal here tonight, Quentin, as we check out our first alert forecast tonight. Boy, this is Pumpkin, and Pumpkin is not a fan of the wet weather. Look at that nasty look, but things will be improving tomorrow. Lots of sunshine, a cold start. We're in the 20s, wind chills may be in the teens, but a fair amount of sun on Friday, temperatures in the 40s. We'll have that weekend forecast next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Winter has returned. We've had a lot of cloud cover out there today. Northerly breezes. Louisville, Mississippi at Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. Columbus and Tupelo, you can see the clouds moving on through. We had a few peaks of sun out there. Most of us, though, underneath the clouds all day long, but a much different scene tomorrow as high pressure moves on in. We do have clearing. The gray you see on the map here, those are the low clouds gradually shrinking and thinning out and moving from north to south. So things will be improving weather-wise. Now, we will cool down once those clouds go away. Already down to 32 in Oxford, but underneath the clouds in the low 40s here. The wind chill down into the 20s where we have cleared out. Other spots still in the 30s. So in the big picture here, we'll clear things out. Temperatures will fall into the 20s. The wind chill tomorrow morning likely in the teens and low 20s. So winter jackets needed here as we get into your Friday. But look at all the sunshine. If you're heading to the ball game in Starkville, do plan on temperatures in the 40s under a lot of sunshine. That northerly breeze will continue. So a bit of a nippy wind all day long. A 40 or so in Oxford, that's the high. So for the baseball game in the late afternoon and evening, we're going to be falling into the 30s. And temperatures here in the West Alabama, under all that sunshine in the 40s, we're looking pretty good. All of that nasty rain now well off to our east and southeast. Still a little bit of rain down there in Florida, but we have really dried things out, and that's what we like to see. Some updated numbers here for the river stages. The 10 time at the Stanislaus Dam, again, right around 166. We've actually been creeping up a little bit today. We are about at the peak, and then we'll start to fall a little bit tomorrow and then continue doing so through the weekend. The Lux near Columbus, again, about at peak right now. We should start to fall tomorrow, getting back below flood stage by the weekend. The Bevellock Dam, very, very high, likely staying above flood stage through the weekend and getting below early next week. The Buttahatchee River staying in flood stage all weekend long, and we are looking at the Tombigbee at Amory getting back below flood stage by Sunday. And the river down there in Macon, the Noxubee River, likely getting below flood stage by Tuesday. We are dry in the near term, but we do have some rain coming our way. Tomorrow, not so much. We are looking at some low to mid 40s across the region, as we mentioned, because of this big ridge of high pressure coming on in. So that will clear out the region. A few more fair weather clouds there on Saturday. We'll have a weak system move through on Sunday. Chance for a few showers here Sunday. I think the better odds will be down to our south. But as we get into your Monday and Tuesday, temperatures warm back up into the mid to upper 60s. Better rain chances there, maybe some thunder on Tuesday. We'll crash back into the 40s Wednesday and Thursday with a continuing chance for some showers.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're here with Bobby. We've got our beads. We're talking about the upcoming Mardi Gras season, Fat Tuesday, just around the corner. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Hatley's Bakery out of New Orleans for making us this beautiful, smelly king cake. Oh, I can't wait to dive into it.
I keep smelling them and I just want to eat them right now.
I do too. I wish we could just grab it and go. But all right, you have some of the great, or some perfect wines too, for everybody to kind of kick off Fat Tuesday with.
So if you're celebrating Mardi Gras, we've got some of the most probably iconic food for that, and then some wines to go with it. So we're going to start with some oysters. And this first wine is actually going to be the classic pairing for raw oysters from France. This comes from the Loire Valley. This is from the region of Muscadet, Sèvres, Maine. And this is Milan de Bourgogne. So as people would squeeze lemon on oysters, this is pretty much going to do that.
Okay, and I can kind of taste how it would go with the oyster, because I had oysters from Restaurant Tyler not too long ago and never had one in my life, but they were delicious. All right.
Super acidic.
This other white wine, this one was actually made in New Orleans, right? This one?
It's made by a guy who lives in New Orleans, but makes wine in Napa.
Gotcha.
So this is going to be what I call the New Orleans pairing, vending machine wines. This is the field trip. And if you're doing anything for Mardi Gras, definitely search out these wines, because you can't celebrate New Orleans without the guy from New Orleans.
Right, right. If you're going to do anything for Mardi Gras. And this one also goes well with the oysters.
And this is going to be a Peak Pool Chardonnay blend.
Gotcha. It tastes very good. And like you said, this one's from New Orleans, folks. So if you're celebrating Mardi Gras in that area, you definitely want to do that. All right, and you've got a rosé here.
Yes, so for crawfish, you know, there's different levels of spice, mild to spicy. This one is going to be mild, but we are doing it with a rosé because a lot of people are very into rosés. You could do Riesling, and the higher up in spice you go, the sweeter you want your wines to be, because
that
it's
makes
really
sense. You want the sweetness to kind of drown it out a little bit.
Kill the heat.
And in Cajun country, it's probably spicy.
Yeah, but this
spicy.
is not a dry, sweet wine. This is dry, but it's going to be super fruity, so it's going to help mask some of that spice.
Awesome. And then last but not least, the ever so famous
dessert
cake.
Yes, so we've paired it with a Lambrusco. Lambrusco comes from Italy. There are 11 varietals of Lambrusco. This is going to be the Sorbara. This is going to be very floral, more acidic.
Oh, wow. That one is delicious. Oh my gosh. All right, and that one's going to pair well with a king cake if you're eating king cake for New Orleans. And don't forget, if you find the baby in the king cake, that means you have to buy the king cake next year. So Bobby and I, we're about to dig in, see who has to buy next year's king cake. Until next time, cheers.
Welcome back. Over 5 million Americans are living with some sort of heart failure, and it may come as no surprise that cases are common here in Mississippi. In tonight's Health Talk with the Baptist, we find out about a monitoring system that can help improve outcomes for patients living with heart failure.
Hi, I'm Dr. John King, interventional cardiologist and member of the cardiology team here at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the Abbott CardioMEMS heart failure system. When the heart is unable to pump enough blood to meet the body's demands, blood pressure within the heart is elevated and can lead to heart failure. Significant heart failure progression over a period of days is known as acute decompensation and frequently leads to hospitalization. The CardioMEMS heart failure system is the only FDA-approved monitoring device that has been proven to reduce hospital admissions and improve quality of life in certain heart failure patients who have been hospitalized in the past 12 months. We now perform this procedure at Baptist Golden Triangle. This heart failure system uses a miniaturized wireless monitoring sensor that is implanted in the pulmonary artery during a simple outpatient procedure to directly measure pulmonary artery pressure. The system allows patients to transmit pulmonary artery pressure data from their homes to their healthcare providers. The patient uses a portable electronic unit and a special pillow containing an antenna. This allows proactive treatment for the heart failure patient and reduces the likelihood of rehospitalization. There is no pain or sensation for the patient during the readings. The electronic system transmits the readings to a secure website where it can be seen by the patient's doctor. This is a simple process that takes only a few minutes, but can greatly impact the management of your condition. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, where we will discuss other important topics to help you improve your cardiovascular health.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Local teams battle for a spot in a division championship. We'll have highlights from ICC next in sports.
Here's sports with Tom Ebel.
1 week away from ring chasing. The high school basketball playoffs beginning next week, but first teams battling for a chance to call themselves division champions. The Region 2 4A semifinals at ICC, Caledonia taking on Shannon. We pick things up in the third quarter. Cooper McCleskey from way downtown for three gets that bucket to go. Feds leading, but Kobe George able to get the answer inside the paint. It's a 1-point ball game, and we're tied after three. Shannon on the break. The shot is off here, but Skylar Metcalf right there to clean up the glass. It's now a 1-point Feds lead, and then Devin Hodges. Red Raiders go on a run. They take the lead with a 1-point ball game, but it was short-lived. Look at Cooper McCleskey. Pulls up from downtown Fulton to get the and one triple. Caledonia able to advance to the title game. They get the 62-58 win. The girls semifinal up next. Shannon taking on Pontotoc. Lady Warriors, all business early on. Dee Dee Shepard. Pull up from the wing. Triple is good. It is 14-0 Pontotoc. Make it 18-0. Shepard again penetrates the paint, gets the bucket to go. So Pontotoc starts the game on an 18-0 run, but Shannon, Janiyah Ortoli gets on the board. That gets Shannon on the board as well, but it's all Lady Warriors all the time. Sky Vaughn, bucket, plus the harm. Pontotoc goes on to get the win 69-39. So Pontotoc will take on South Pontotoc for the division championship. But here are some of the scores from around the area in terms of semifinals. New Site defeats Manatachee on the girls' side. South Pontotoc, we just mentioned it, they edge Itawamba AHS. Houston defeats Noxubee County. Ripley defeats North Pontotoc. West Lowndes defeats French Camp. Baldwin defeats Ingomar. Calhoun City defeats East Webster. West Lowndes boys defeat Nanawaya. Ingomar boys defeat Tremont. And keeping it rolling. New Site defeats Manatachee. Tisch County defeats New Albany. Ripley win over Tisch County. Houston defeats Choctaw County. Wheeler gets the win. Pine Grove gets the win. East Webster defeats Bruce. Pontotoc defeats Moorville in a good game on the boys' side. Corinth defeats New Albany. Bit of an upset there. And then last but not least, Holka defeats Okolona. A little bit of revenge from regular season for Deshaun Berry and company. Vardaman defeats Okolona. Hamilton defeats Coffeyville. Coffeyville defeats Vardaman. J.Z. George defeats Eupora. And Baldwin gets the win over Smithville. Ole Miss women's basketball in search of that first SEC win on the road at Florida. Fast start for the Gators. Ariel Johnson post feed to Lavender Briggs for the N1 bucket. Gators up 17, but back comes Ole Miss. Racing back into the ball game. Mimi Reed gets into the paint for two. Rebels open the second on a 9-0 run. They're right back in it. Clock ticking in the first half. Deja Cage. Mid-range jumper is good. It's a 3-point ball game at halftime. Second half we go. Rebels down by 4. Taylor Smith for 3. Makes it a one-possession ball game, and it stayed that way throughout. Ending the third. Deja Cage with another one right before the horn from mid-range. Rebels down by 3 heading into the final quarter. Let's get to the money time. Finally, getting the lead, Ole Miss. Deja Cage, heat check off the pick. Gets that one to go. It's 8-2 Rebel run. They have their first lead of the ball game. Up by 2 here, but Florida makes a play. Briggs with the steal. Pushes up to Kiara Smith. That ties the ball game. Florida takes the lead on a pair of Briggs free throws with 20 seconds left. Last chance for Ole Miss. Cross-court pass, picked off by Briggs, and that's the way the ball game ends. The Rebels lose another heartbreaker, 74-72 to Florida. The 2020 college baseball season is officially back. In less than 24 hours, Mississippi State will begin its road back to Omaha. The Bulldogs getting in some final preps today before opening weekend, taking on Wright State. Preseason polls and projections expect a lot of Mississippi State in 2020, but there'll be some new faces in key positions for Chris Lemonis. Lemonis hoping to see some of the positives he saw in the offseason shine in this weekend's, the first series of the year. And never mind, you can go to our website to listen to Chris Lemonis. Well, we tried.
We tried, but less than 24 hours before opening day. I'm excited,
Baseball's
Tom.
back, man. We got college baseball, college basketball, high school basketball. It's really a sports lover's dream.
What a time to be alive.
I'm telling you, man, that's the mantra.
All right, thank you so much, Tom. We'll have a last look at your forecast when we come back.
Hallelujah, guys. We've got sun tomorrow. Tom, you're going over to get some baseball action.
Perfect
Chilly
time.
weather, but, you know, at least it's not going to be a rain out tomorrow.
I'm not complaining.
How do you plan on staying warm, Tom? Hand
Doesn't
warmers?
matter. Do I try? I guess a hat, and a beanie, maybe, something like
Just
that.
don't get frostbite. But you're not going to be in Oxford. You'll be in Starkville. Chris is going to Oxford, right?
He is.
Ooh.
You're a little chilly.
Yeah, will.
All right, have a good night, everyone.